Yo, what is up, guys? We are back. Golden Truth, episode 8. Dan Snyder's more antics, stealing ticket money. Tom Brady forcing Bruce Arians to forcing to forcing him to step down, and Todd Bowles, the new head coach. That is what's coming up next on the Golden Truth. Let's hit that intro. Yo, what is up, guys? It is Oscar here, back with the Golden Truth after a 2-week hiatus. Of course, my co-host shows up right at the nick of time because I thought here that I was gonna have to carry the show for at least 10 minutes, but as you notice, he is. If you can hear
Hey,
what
man.
he's doing, I don't know what he's doing. He's breathing heavily. I hope you're okay, man. I hope you
Can
don't
you hear
die
me?
on the shit. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Aaron, can you hear me? Aaron? Aaron, can you hear me? Are you fine? Hold on. Aaron, can you hear me?
Hey, man, you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Aaron?
Brother, do you hear me?
Hold on. All right, hold on, y'all. All right, sorry, y'all. It's just this dude. He can never show up on time. This is why I tell him show up 10 minutes before we go, before so we can fix these audio issues. Um, all right, Aaron, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Ay, thank God.
No, it's all good, man. It's been a nuts day. Okay. All
Man,
right.
you see, this is why I ask you to show up at least 5 minutes early so we can fix these tech kinks, because that cuts into our lifetime.
It's better. It's better than what I was doing last time we were on.
Oh, that is true. I mean, yeah, good point. But oh, you're cutting out. What's up?
Is Jason coming on today?
Nah.
No Alamillo.
Nah.
Uh,
No. No. My wings today.
Not that's it. So you might say his wings stop.
Yo. Let me make sure he's in the comment section. Oh my god.
Wah, wah, wah. Oh, dude. This not eating after 7 thing is tough because I'm literally like scarfing down food right before I go on air. I'm having like that 65 and over dinner time.
Huh?
I'm having like that 65 and over dinner time. Like, it's 4:30. It's time for dinner.
Yeah, and then you eat like your little glass of milk like at 8 p.m. or something like that. That's what my grandma does. Like she eats.
I don't have the milk either. This is all I have.
She eats dinner like at 4 p.m. 4:30, and then she's like at 8 p.m. she's like just heating up her a glass of milk or whatever so she can go to bed.
I don't even do the milk. I just do water, straight water.
But anyways, how you been, man? I mean, it's been 2 weeks. Obviously we're gonna be discussing, like I said in the cold intro there, like we're gonna be discussing Tom Brady basically kicking out forcing Bruce Arians to step down. More the Dan Snyder extorting money from the NFL and all that other crap. But first and foremost, because we have been gone for 2 weeks, we didn't go live last week.
There's a lot of crap to catch up on.
Yeah, I know. We were in and out. Last time we were on, but how have you been?
No, we got this though. It's set in stone like a caveman movie.
Basic. Oh, good one there. I gotta give you credit for
I
that.
I try.
But
and
how
plus, I'm going to be starting a new job on Monday as well, so that's going to be interesting.
Oh, okay. But how have you been, man? Like 2 weeks.
Dude, I'm nervous as hell, man. I'm nervous as hell. Not about this, about other crap. And I'm trying to keep my head in the game.
Have you been uploading, or have you been doing your stuff with Faxman's musings? I haven't kept up.
I haven't for the past not last week, only because I think that was the day I went to the dermatologist and had to have the procedure done.
Mm-hmm. So you haven't had it. Like, what was your last episode? Like,
my last episode was talking about the.
I can't remember.
Actually, the last episode I had was the circus review, and then. But yeah, no, because I meant to do it a week. I meant to do it before then, and then I had to do some other planning because.
Okay.
So some friends of mine from an old church I used to go to are actually going to be getting married, and so I've been planning for that wedding.
Aaron, you're okay. You cut out there for a quick second, but I can make out what you just said.
Sorry, I was doing some planning for a trip to Virginia because I have some friends from church that are married.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be here in town in June, right?
Yes.
Wow. So the time that you're gonna be here, I'm not. So
you're Iowa bound, man. But honestly, it's good.
Yeah.
Good opportunities for you, and I wish nothing but the best for you.
Yeah. So, folks, the reason why we didn't do a live stream last week, if y'all are wondering, I was out of town in Iowa. Last weekend. Obviously not this weekend, but the weekend prior. And that just took most of my energy. I flew in Monday afternoonish, and rested up, and then Tuesday still was down for the count. Aaron actually had another endeavor to take care of, so.
Look, I'm just going to be raw and candid with you guys. Because I don't care at this point. And I've kind of hit the I don't give a crap stage of my life right now. I had a mass taken out of my hand and a mass taken out of my leg. The mass taken out of my leg, I'm waiting for a biopsy on. And I'm waiting to see if it's malignant or cancerous or not.
Oh, okay. But we just we're kind of I needed to get my energy back, so because I had limited, and I wasn't willing to sit here and fall asleep on stream.
I
Or
mean,
zone
you're
zone
normally
out
a
on.
snore anyways, but I mean, you'd be
Zone,
more of a snore then.
yeah, basically,
No,
like,
I'm just kidding.
no, dude. Here's what happened. So the job was fine. However, so Sunday after we, came home from hanging out or whatever, because we got off at work at 5, because I had to go for a training. But
Yeah.
I guess they consider that work. So I got off at work at 5 on
If they
Sunday,
pay you
right?
for it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So get off at work at 5. We, a group of us, we already formed our own little group. We formed our own little group. So we go out to dinner. We leave like around. We leave like everything's walking like it's in downtown Des Moines, Iowa. I mean, like Iowa, there's nothing,
Wow.
but at least we're in freaking downtown Des Moines, Iowa, and Des Moines at least is like isn't like that's the capital, right? Capital of Iowa. So like at least we're not in the middle of nowhere, at least. But like everything is walking distance. So I got off work at 5. We don't leave until like 7 to go eat dinner. We leave the place like around 8 or 9 o'clock or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And I just, I was packing a little here, a little there, trying to, things like that. By the time we finish hanging out, me with some of my coworkers, it's already like midnight, and I'm like, oh, I gotta wake up early anyway. I don't want to like be interrupted with my sleep or whatever. I don't want to be cranky. So I decided to pull an all-nighter.
Of course you did. The
Dude,
smartest decision ever.
I was tired. Like, I showed up to the airport. Like, I left because another thing you got to know about Des Moines, Iowa, is that it's really hard to get a Lyft and an Uber there. So instead of me messing around with getting, Lyft the last second, I scheduled it. I was like, I'm just going to schedule it for like 5:30, 5:40, because the airport's like 15 minutes away from the facility. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go 15, 20 minutes or whatever. Next thing you know, like I get there like at 5:50, no, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, like 6 o'clock flat. Because the Uber and the Lyft came like around 5:40-ish. So I guess there was a little bit of traffic or like 5-minute delay or whatever. So I get there at 6 o'clock flat. Turns out, because that airport closes, Des Moines, Iowa is so dead that their airport closes. So I show up and they're like, yeah, it's not open yet. It'll open at 6:20. I'm like, so they're not gonna open up their desk until 6:20. So I have to sit here for 15 minutes. I can fall asleep in those 15 minutes.
Oh gosh.
So like I'm trying so hard not to fall asleep because I don't want to fall asleep to the point where I forget that I have to get up and check in and things like that.
Yeah.
Somehow I manage. They get me someone. I get to check in, go through security and all that stuff. I make it on time at like my flight, boarding started like at 7:50 or something like that, 7:50 a.m. So I sit there for like an hour, knockout for like an hour, until like I guess like a Southwest agent comes and taps me on the shoulder, and she's like, "Sir, you're Oscar, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You can board now if you like." I was like, "Okay." So I get up, board the plane, knock right back out. I don't feel the plane lift off. All I feel is that we land. I'm like, oh, gotta get up, semi-wake up. So that way I can, get up on the plane or whatever. So I get off the plane.
I've been there before.
So I actually had a connecting flight. So I had a layover, and I had a layover for 4 hours in Missouri, dude.
Oh, of course.
And it was St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, the former home of the Rams.
So like I go and I'm like, I was talking to my friend. I was telling my friend earlier, like in the week. He's like, yeah, man, if you're gonna have 4 hours, you might as well, explore St. Louis and all that. If you have the time. I'm like, yeah, good point. Make a good point.
I just
Dude,
need to
I'm
bring in a
so
phone charger. I would just find where my gate is, and then I'd find the closest restaurant that's like close to the gate, and then just set up
dude,
shop.
no, dude. I just like I went to the gate, set up shop there, and never left. I knocked out. Like I fell asleep, and those like the chairs were even uncomfortable because like they were like
If you're tired enough, you can
there.
sleep on
There were those
anything.
chair. There were those chairs where they don't have like the armrest.
Oh yeah.
So like I had to find like a creative way to like sleep. But for some reason, I kept on
Just sitting
waking up.
there like
I kept on waking up every hour to like make sure that I didn't miss my flight.
level.
So then I
Are
finally
you in?
like it's
Are you
really
in Iowa
it's
right now?
no, I'm back in Virginia.
Oh, okay. I
No,
got
I'm not going back. I
you.
don't have to go back until like I'm going back like a week before Memorial Day.
You better make sure that you get some sleep before you go, bro.
I know. Oh,
Dude, I gotta tell you. So first off, a little bit of a vote here. Y'all want me to get a little bit graphic with you here?
no.
I'm not talking about like. So, they gave me like 7 shots in my leg to numb it up, and then they take this little scraper and then they scrape the mass out of my leg, or at least most of it. That way they can test it. And I'm sitting there like, I know I'm not supposed to feel this, but I do. Could you cool it? Oh gosh, I was because the other problem too is if they find out that it's cancerous, they're gonna have to go back into that same spot and cut more out.
I mean, at least it's your leg.
Yeah, but I mean, if it gets like, and then they'll have to stitch me back up. But if it gets bad enough where I mean, it's a good thing I'm going to have an
I mean,
at-home desk job.
do you prefer your leg or do you prefer your bum?
Oh,
that's
maybe
the that's the next because that's the
that's a
next thing
toughie
up.
though, because with at least with the bum, I can still sit. I just have to sit like wonky or catty cornered. If it's my leg, that's like, you know, taking taking my exercise and my walking out of the equation.
Yeah, true. Or they could just get rid of your stomach fat and put it down your leg too. That's something that I've seen. I've heard of that being done too.
They call that a toothpaste tube bypass. I was like,
Anyway,
no, it's so bad because like I wish you could see it. I would show you what my finger looks like too, because there's I look like I have a crater on the top of my finger. Again, getting all graphic on you guys there for a second.
yeah, exactly. Anyways, before we lose our viewers, let's go
Yeah,
ahead.
really.
Yeah, so let's go ahead. I mean, do you want to talk about Dan Snyder first, Tom Brady first, Tom Brady and Bruce Arians first, or
Let's Tom Brady so fired up in the first place that this is going to cover quite a bit of time anyway.
oh my god, like this dude.
Just get him out of the
Okay,
way.
nah, dude. Like I feel like okay, so this dude, okay, fine, he retires, fine, okay, fine. NFL life goes on, but he's like when he immediately finds out Deshaun Watson is gonna be the guy to replace him, he's like, oh heck no, like.
I'm sorry.
Like
Like,
I
you know
heard,
what really bothers me?
according to what I heard. Hold on, I'll let you go. I'll let you go in a second. Like so, according to what I heard, so it turns out that the Buccaneers, when he, was a free agent, before he joined Tampa, his list was actually to go to Miami.
Wow.
But like
Okay.
apparently apparently, like, because like they were wanting to bring in Deshaun Watson, he literally told them, he was like, wow, so you're gonna bring Deshaun Watson over me? Like, really? So then like Miami's like, yeah, whatever. So it's like, fine.
Trip.
He goes to Tampa. He retires from Tampa. Tampa shows interest in Deshaun Watson. He's like, no, I'm coming back. And then he like makes up with them. Next thing you know, okay, whatever. I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm not gonna waste my time with him coming. Oh no, I heard that. From what I heard, he ain't coming back. From what I heard,
he would simply for Brady.
No, but from what I saw, he's still out there. He still hasn't, said anything about returning. But
what bothers me is I feel like he's so disrespectful in this case to his wife and son.
Yeah.
In an interview that he was retiring so he could spend more time with them, and then he goes, "Oh, my family supports the fact that I want to go back in," and I'm like, "Bro,
no, dude. Like, and here's another thing. So, okay, so let's leave that out for a second. Then he throws a temper tantrum saying, "I don't want Bruce Arians. If Bruce Arians is here, I'm leaving." And like Miami, like again, he was like, "I'm going to Miami or whatever." Like, I want to go to Miami. What are the Buccaneers organization do? They tell Bruce Arians, they're like, all right, you can stay, but we want you to be somewhere else. We don't want you to be head coach. And we're gonna.
He worked hard for that job.
And here's the thing, Bruce Arians. This is proof that Bruce Arians, he's a good sport, because he's like, you know what, fine, like I'll give up my head coaching spot. And I'll name Todd Bowles, who is of my minority. So, like, because from what I saw, like, everyone was talking about how Bruce Arians, like, he's the guy to give opportunities to, guys from minorities, which is true. Because even in his when he was with Pittsburgh, his underlings, even though he was only offensive coordinator or whatever, he was they were minorities. When he goes to the Arizona Cardinals, he brings in Byron Leftwich, who had no head coaching experience, but because he's a minority, he gave an opportunity. So he gave it to Todd Bowles, and when he came to Tampa, did the same thing. Brought in Todd Bowles, who's a minority, brought in Byron Leftwich again, who's a minority, and now Todd Bowles, who is the new head coach, is a minority. So, like, that's what I find funny, that Tom Brady is like, I want this dude out of here, but B, Bruce Arians, makes it more of a feel good story by having a minority as a head coach.
This whole thing is a joke. I'm not saying that minorities don't deserve opportunities. That's not what I'm saying, but it says a lot that an organization is willing to take the side of a quarterback over the head coach, when in reality, it's the head coach that is the brains and develops the plan to win. Not to mention the fact that Bruce Arians has been a proven commodity for Tampa longer than Brady has been. And I don't know. I think that's I don't know. It's to me, your loyalty has to be kind of with who has seniority in that case. What, you've got a couple of years on the team, but then you take his opinion over people who have been with the organization and have its best interest at heart for close to 5 years now. 5, 6, 7 years now.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that just seems kind of backwards.
No, dude, like, here's the thing, like, okay, whatever. Okay, Bruce Arians calls plays that Tom Brady doesn't like. Like, what does he want? Like, here's the thing. Because people were saying, oh, he wants a guy like freaking Bill Belichick to who Bill Belichick, he's a safe guy. Like, his play calling is safe. You saw what Tom Brady was, aside from big moves, but like this
quick
past
passer.
year,
play action.
Like this, like what's it? Mac Jones. Like you saw what he did with Mac Jones. Like he was like check down, check down, check down, check down, check down. That's what Tom Brady got used to. And Tom Brady, what he does is with Bruce Arians at the helm, throws like 50 touchdowns, like the past 2 years combined. Like, dude, I'm not saying anything. I don't know if it's because I'm more of an offensive type of guy over a check down and a defensive guy. I think like throwing like passes like that is more beneficial than being known as a check down type of guy. Like for me, when Alex Smith was here, dude, that was my biggest. You know what? I'm just gonna ignore you there. No comment. Anyway.
No. Like, my point was that it's a play it safe kind of. Go ahead.
Like, that's what my biggest thing was with Alex Smith when he was here was that he never threw it downfield. He would just 5 yards here, 10 yards here, 5 yards here.
He's too scared of the interception.
Basically.
And that's the problem. When you have like West Coast offensive styles where you do a lot of checkdowns and you force teams to cover the entire field, those are play it safe type of plays. At that point, it's not like it's basically taking the liability off of the quarterback and putting it on those who are the receivers. So it's your fault because you didn't make the miss or
you're breaking out again.
Fault, sorry, it's so the West Coast style of offense like that takes all the onus off of the quarterback because if you have a defense that's full of sure tacklers, you can stop them from going anywhere, and you're forcing them to basically nickel and dime the ball down the field. Checkdowns like that are so play it safe because the onus goes to the wide receivers and basically saying, "Oh, well, you weren't fast enough to make the tackler miss, therefore it's your fault."
Yeah. Oh, are you done? Because you cut out in that last section.
Yeah, I'm done. All I was saying was that checkdowns, it's basically taking the liability off of the quarterback because you're turning your wide receivers into glorified runners.
Basically. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, if Tom Brady, I don't know what his deal is about, like, throwing it downfield when he has the weapons. Okay, maybe with New England Patriots, I understood because his last year, he had, like, randoms at wide receiver. Like, he had, like, people like N'Keal Harry. Like, he had good dudes like that. But when you have in Tampa, when you guys have, like, Mike Evans, who's, like, every year since he's been in the league, 1,000-yard receiver. When you guys have Chris Godwin, who's easily a 1,000-yard receiver. Rob Gronkowski, who is like a big, a huge target. You got your guy. You got James White guy in what's his dude's name? Freaking help me out here.
Marquise.
No. The running back.
Leonard Fournette.
Leonard Fournette, yeah.
Although I think he's actually leaving Tampa, though.
No, he re-signed his contract.
Okay. I thought for a while that they weren't.
He got like
that was one of those like 11th.
Yeah, he got like a 3-year $40 mil deal.
They must have had quite a salary cap, but that is interesting to me because that seemed to be one of those 11th hour signings where it was at the very last minute that they even gave it consideration.
Dude, like literally their center, I think it's one of their offensive linemen was about on the verge of like signing for another team, but when he heard Tom Brady was coming here, he's like, "Oh, nope, never mind. I'm staying here in Tampa." I'll take a
Yeah,
pay cut.
really.
Like he
You know what?
literally took a pay cut. Go ahead.
I just can't wait to see Tom Brady go up against the Bills again.
Dude, like I
The
can't
Bills
like
and Von Miller.
the biggest thing that's gonna be laughable is if Todd Bowles, like, because not saying anything, but I think Todd Bowles, when he was head coach with the New York Jets, he only had like one winning season. Everything else was losing.
He's not good. He's just not good.
Like dudes, like there's some dudes that annoy me. Like offensive coordinator. Okay, so you get like your exceptions, like Kyle Shanahan. You get your exceptions, like Sean McVay. You know, you get guys like that.
Steve Spagnuolo.
Dude, get out of here. That dude ain't a good head coach.
He's okay. He's not great, but he's not bad either.
You know, you get guys like that where they're successful, but guys like who tried to be a head coach at the beginning, like freaking dude from Josh McDaniels,
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh was a pretty decent head coach.
But I wonder if it was his players that held him up because he went right back to Michigan after that Super Bowl year.
No, it was him. Apparently, like the 49ers organization didn't like him because he was he was a hardhead. Like he was like very like fiery tempered.
But I mean that's everybody in the NFL now.
Nah, but I heard that he would get into fights with like his higher ups.
Like fist fights?
No, like I don't know. Like I don't know. Like, but I heard. Well, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. But I heard that there were like shouts and things like that. So I wouldn't put it past them that there were like.
You know which head coach I feel kind of bad for? Like,
Who?
I feel bad for Sean Payton. Like, do you remember that one game where he got a knee injury because one of the players as they were going out of bounds ran into him?
Oh yeah, that's funny.
He's sitting there like he was on crutches for like he was still on the sidelines, like good for him, but he was on like crutches for weeks.
Yeah, like wasn't he riding his like electronic scooter or whatever?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Because I think what was it? Devery Henderson was catching a pass, and then was like knocked out of bounds. And when he went out of bounds, he fell into the knee of Sean Payton.
No, yeah, like Dennis Allen. Speaking of the Saints, Dennis Allen. Dude was a horrible head coach when he was with, I think it was Oakland. Then Oakland Raiders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like what the heck?
I think a lot of people in New Orleans are scratching their heads on that one.
No, I feel like
they're banking on something. We just don't know what it is.
I feel like they feel like, oh, this guy is a good offensive coordinator. He calls great plays. Maybe he'll be a good head coach. Like they talk him up a storm. They're like, yeah, he's gonna be a really good head coach someday. But when he's given the opportunity, because here's the thing, when you're a head coach, you're not just calling, obviously you have the option to call plays, but you also are in charge of the other side of the ball and other things.
Yeah, like you can't just bank on one side of the ball to be a head coach make. It doesn't work that way. Just like when you had Rob Ryan, who was the head coach for the Jets for a time, and he was very defensive minded.
It was the other
Rex Ryan. Well, I know it wasn't Rob Ryan for a time head coach with a team, because I know that,
he was a coordinator.
I know he was the defensive coordinator for a long time, but I thought the Cowboys may have put him in a coaching position before. I think Jason Garrett got there.
No. I know that he was a coordinator for a long time because I remember He was with the Jets. Then he went to Dallas for a few years. Then I think he went to Washington after that. I don't know where he is now.
It's just interesting to me that because again, Rex Ryan's a lot like Rob in that he's also very defensive minded.
Yeah, but he had success for like 2 or 3 years before he fell off the earth.
I don't even know if that was necessarily him as much as it was he just got blessed with some good players. Like the years that Darrelle Revis was like Revis Island with the Jets. I mean,
yeah,
that dude was a shutdown corner, and you couldn't do jack against him. And that's what gave that team success. Like that whole team was.
and let me see. Yeah, because Mark Sanchez, dude, that dude was terrible.
There's a video that you should watch, and it's literally called Sanchez Boogie, and it's literally Sanchez.
Isn't it like the famous butt fumble?
No, it's not that. Actually, this is even probably more gross. But he actually ends up like rubbing a booger on his backup quarterback Mike Brunell's jersey.
Oh, you had to. You know what? Oh, come on, man. You're 31 years old and you're still at inappropriate
No, I'm 30.
jokes.
I'm just kidding. No, you have to watch it. It's crazy. It's the game between the Steelers and the Jets, and then all you see is like Mark Sanchez rub his nose, and then he just pats Mark Brunell on the side of his shirt, and you just see it sit there.
Hold on, I'm looking at the. Wow, no one has commented. Interesting.
It's literally called Sanchez Boogie.
Oh, yeah, you had to ruin the stream. You had to.
Oh no!
I was wondering when you were gonna say something outlandish or do something outlandish. I was like, all right. I guess we went.
It's better for me than Alamillo.
Oh no, Jason, I'm fine. But you with your little outlandish comments sometimes, I'm like, dang it. Like you went.
No, because look, Jason will spend the entire time roasting you. I haven't done that. He will spend the entire time just bashing the fan.
That is true. Granted, he's a Dallas fan, and they fail at expectations every year. At least Washington, we got no expectations.
The expectation's low. That's the expectation.
Basically. But oh, by the way, this is something I wanted to ask, and I guess I never found the reason to ask. So say, and I guess would be a good segue into Dan Snyder. Say that Dan Snyder gets get finally out of there's a miracle. The NFL finally is like, you know what, this dude's too toxic. We gotta get rid of him. So like he finally has to get stripped of ownership.
Yeah.
Would you become a Washington fan? Would you become a Washington fan or not?
See, to me, I mean, there's a better chance of it, but to me, there has to be a change in there has to be a change in habit, because to me, what has happened off the field has not only negatively affected the ownership, but it's negatively affected the front office and the players. I need to see evidence that players are happy there.
Yeah, dude, no one wants to come here.
But I mean, and granted, like I said, I gave them so long of life really being a loyal to things that he was doing to me, and then he does his rear end. I don't respect a person like that. And because of that, I don't respect his organization, because it's all.
Yeah.
Stop putting fingers on the stack, clean it, because There's smudges of Dan Snyder all organization.
Yeah. By the way, dude, what are you doing? Because sometimes you cut in you're fine, but then after like 5 minutes, you cut out again.
I don't know. Maybe it's my internet. Give me a second. I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
All right. So we're gonna segue into speaking because we're talking about Dan Snyder, of course. So at first, last week, while I was MIA, I kept on seeing reports that Dan Snyder and the Washington Commanders apparently had a second book of finances. So I was like, okay, whatever. Second book of finances. I wonder how that's gonna bite Dan Snyder in the butt somehow. But then it turns out, like these last few days, I've been seeing that apparently he hasn't been sharing the profits of ticket sales.
Boo.
So finally, I feel like the NFL, because now that it's okay, so Roger Goodell is gonna be, protecting Dan Snyder's butt about the sexual assault allegations. But if you have 31 other dudes, because Roger Goodell, at the end of the day, works for these punks. If you have 31 other dudes that find out, holy crap, this guy's actually has been like stealing money from us, then we definitely got. I feel like this. I'm hoping that this is the straw that breaks the camel's back. I'm hopeful, but is it gonna happen? No, or I don't think so. Like I give it like a 90% or 90% chance of actually something coming out of it. Because apparently, dance. Because what I find funny is that this story comes out, right? The Commanders organization takes 2 days to come up with a buffer, like to come up with a statement, and they say, "Oh, it's false. This guy's a disgruntled employee. Blah blah blah. This and that. This isn't true." And then everyone's like, I feel like the NFL's like, okay, that's believable. That guy's just trying to get his name out there for something. So hopefully it's not true, but we'll wait and see. What are your thoughts?
Morale is low at an all-time low because of the stupid things that he does. Regardless of whether he has done them or not, to draw enough attention to yourself where people think you have is stupid. Really, really stupid. This is the thing. You are representing an organization that is getting close to 90 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You are a reflection of that team's history. You are a reflection of what that team aspires to be, and the fact that, like I said, regardless of whether he did what he did, the fact that he has put himself in a position where people think that he has done these things, his image is always going to be tarnished, and by association, the organization's image will be tarnished. When Dan Snyder is gone, when the organization is cleaned out and rebuilt, you will see a respectable Washington organization. Plain and simple.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I feel like that's not going to happen in our lifetime.
No, it's not, and it's a shame because I really feel like everything that has happened is basically just Dan Snyder giving every single fan the finger.
Basically.
He does not care because all he wants is the money that comes from leading a team. Huh?
Their pocket.
Yep. And this is what you get live with. There's heritage there that is just being besmirched simply because the man who's at the head of it can't keep himself out of trouble.
No, like, and here's the thing. So apparently, Tanya Snyder has been at the helm because apparently he took like an extended leave of absence for something. I don't know what. Like, so apparently he gets all 100% ownership of the team, but then he steps away, puts on paper Tanya Snyder is gonna carry out the day to day, and then out of nowhere, like literally, like last week, I remember I was like, oh yeah, Dan Snyder's back at the day to day operations. Like we don't know. Like I was like what? I was like,
this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He thinks he does, but like you know the how so many veteran players have been chewed up and spit out by the organization.
yes,
You know how so many rookies that these people have seemed to have such high hopes for have been chewed up and spit out by the organization, and
yeah,
because of that, their careers have not been the same. That is a symptom of the sickness that infests the Washington organization, and that sickness is Dan Snyder. He
no,
is a
like
mole on the butt of the Washington team.
yeah.
And I'm going to be legitimately honest with you. Lance that boil, Roger Goodell. Lance it.
Man, dude, like I really hope my hopes are like a tad bit high, but not too like I'm gonna be like realistic. I'm like if the NFL is refusing to do anything about sex allegations, then basically like not saying anything to I don't want to compare but for the sake of the conversation, I feel like stealing money is less than sexual assault.
I think it is perceived to be as that. However, I think the reason why it's catching so much more publicity is because with the NFL being business, people pay more attention to the money that's being lost than by the I'm trying to figure out how to word it than by morality being won or lost. At the end of the day, it's all about the money. And people are going to pay more attention to money that's lost versus bad PR because of off the field issues.
Yeah.
Look at what happened with Calvin Ridley. How many more people do you think paid attention to his story about betting on his own games versus the story about Adrian Peterson and the domestic abuse?
Yeah.
I think so many more people paid attention to the Calvin Ridley situation than the Adrian Peterson situation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's because it's all about the money. And there's your evidence.
Yeah, like this, like we'll have to wait and see. I mean, Washington, aside from their ownership situation, they got to get their draft right at this point. Which, by the way, the draft we are now in April, y'all. So the draft is. Let me see. What's today's date? The 5th.
Today is the 5th. Actually, it's my So fun story. It's my brother-in-law and my sister's wedding anniversary.
Oh, congratulations go out to them.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know it's off topic, but it's April 5th. So,
all right, so the draft is 3 weeks away, y'all. So, I mean, once like I still gotta do some research for the NFL draft. But we're gonna
be a lot of
basically
watching mock stuff like that.
Basically, and we're probably gonna have to do mock drafts as well. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be watching mock drafts, and we're actually gonna be doing that the next few episodes. Fun fact. So
my work hours are to make sure that things are okay. And when I work, hopefully I'm not going right out of work. It is.
let me know what your schedules are for Tuesdays. If not, we're gonna have to move it to another day and potentially
I don't
another
see
time.
how that'll be a problem. I'm just making you aware of it.
No. I'm just saying. Well, either way. So basically, we
I
just
start training on
have.
Monday.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, April and May are basically gonna be we're gonna
Mock
have
drafts.
2 months of golden truth, and then because I'm gonna be gone from June to August, I don't know what my schedule is gonna be looking like. So we may we'll probably do a golden truth here and there, but
It's not going to be as set and as it is now. Like I said,
yeah.
Monday is when I start training, and I'm training for 2 weeks, and then I go right into the job.
Okay. Again, to be TBD, to be determined if we do anything with the time and day. And obviously, Aaron and I will fix that, off air. Obviously, we're not going to be discussing it
Yeah.
here. But we'll figure something out. But anyways, that's what's coming up the next few weeks, y'all. Is us just analyzing mock drafts.
By the way,
And us,
Nick Mullins is going to be the third string for Baltimore. He signed a contract this past week.
Dude's trash.
Yeah, he kind of.
If you want to talk about this fun, you know what I find funny? The Ravens are willing to pay for Joe Flacco, and they're not willing to pay Lamar Jackson.
That does strike me as pretty crazy because, so even though Lamar Jackson doesn't have his ring, I feel like it's inevitable because he does such good work for them.
Yes,
it is. You can only hold this man back.
Hey, they win a Super Bowl every decade, so at some point he's gonna win a Super Bowl this decade.
I guarantee you this. If the Ravens do go, they're going off the legs of Lamar Jackson. That man is a freaking beast.
Yeah, here's the thing. I feel like he needs to prove himself in beating like the big quarterbacks because he struggles with Patrick. He barely just got his first win against Patrick Mahomes last season. I cannot. Yeah. I don't know if he's beaten Josh Allen yet.
But no cigar. Because their games have been really good. When they do meet up, there's games. Honestly, Baltimore's got to work a little bit more on their defense.
Speak of the rivalry, Deshaun Watson versus Lamar Jackson. That's going to be the rivalry in the AFC North.
Oh, heck yeah, bro. But here's the thing, though. If you're going to do a side-by-side with these quarterbacks, unless Jarvis Landry or OBJ goes back to Cleveland, Baltimore's going to smoke them again.
Yeah, I don't see OBJ or Jarvis Landry going back to Cleveland. I'm saying that right now. I feel like the Browns are probably going to have to. They have Amari Cooper. I feel like they're going to look for someone in the draft. You're cutting out again, and this time I can't make out what you're saying.
If the Browns do not find another wide receiver in the draft, they are screwed.
Yeah,
because,
I agree.
Yeah, this is the thing. Amari Cooper can't be the only guy, because if he's double covered, then where do you go next?
Yeah, because all they have is David Njoku, whatever.
Injury prone.
Injury prone, yeah, exactly. Rashad Higgins, who's a decent number 3. Not a number 2, a decent number 3.
It's true. Honestly, they need some versatility too.
Yes, they do. Because here's Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. I feel like they use Kareem Hunt more in the run game than they do in the pass game, and that's what I liked about the Chiefs. Is they used Kareem Hunt as a passing back as well as a running back, like a multi-purpose guy.
Oh yeah.
They don't use him like that in Cleveland.
No, they don't. Honestly, and I'll tell you this too. By the way, kudos to the teams that were able to lock players. Barkley
You're
left.
cutting out again.
Saquon Barkley almost left New York.
Oh yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be inevitable. He's too injury prone.
He is when teams can catch him. You got to find a way to get that man ball in some space.
Oh,
because if you get Saquon Barkley, go ahead,
man,
bro.
dude, you are having horrible internet issues tonight.
Let me just check it. Bear with me. It could be my Wi-Fi is off. I hope not, but
Hold
yeah,
on.
give me a second. My Wi-Fi
I'm getting
was
a
off.
call as well. Give me 1 sec.
I got you, bro. So yeah, I think what's gonna be interesting coming up is going to be the. I think we're gonna have a lot of surprise teams because there's been a lot of players that have moved around. Players that you wouldn't normally see in certain places. I think Travis Mills in Houston is going to have a good year. I think having Marcus Mariota in Atlanta.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I'm back.
Okay, gotcha. I think having Marcus Mariota in Atlanta is going to make the Falcons an interesting team, provided they can also get some weapons.
Matt Ryan to the Colts. Do you think that Julio Jones goes to the Colts? Because that's what I'm hearing is that Matt Ryan is trying. I feel like Tom Brady and Matt Ryan are trying to recruit Julio Jones to their teams respectively.
Like I think I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think he's more likely to go to Tampa than Indy. That T.Y. just to want to play second fiddle to him.
I mean, T.Y. Hilton was about to retire anyway, so.
By the way, what do you think about Tyreek Hill going to Miami?
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. Oh, before we talk about that, because I do want to get your thoughts on this one. What do you think the Browns are going to do with Baker Mayfield? Because they're going to pay him $19 million, and obviously they don't want to lose money, but they also don't want to get draft capital. But no one wants him.
And then try to dump his contract on another team. Like you can't give him back to us. This is the thing with Baker Mayfield, because he's so streaky. He's streaky.
Yes, because he has his good season and he has his bad season. His rookie season, like the city of Cleveland were on all-time high. Next season, like they bring in OBJ and all these other punks, and they do nothing. The next season, he's red hot, wins a playoff game, and goes to toe to toe with Patrick Mahomes, falls just short of going to an AFC championship. But then this season, he just was awful.
Oh yeah, and I think he needs good leadership. That's what I think. I think he needs good leadership. I can't believe this would be an interesting idea, and maybe I'll get your thoughts on this. I don't like to speculate and do what ifs, but imagine if Jameis Winston hadn't gone back to New Orleans and they had just put Baker Mayfield there. Because you'd have Taysom Hill doing gadget plays with him.
I could potentially see that if Jameis Winston doesn't work out this next year.
Yeah, and it could be a situation where maybe you don't see Baker Mayfield up, and maybe he just gets his mind right.
Or also another thing, he could potentially go to Tampa, sit behind Tom Brady for like a year or two, and
That's a possibility too.
be his heir in Tampa.
Do you think that Tampa has the cap space to try to make a play for Mayfield?
I don't think so, but what they could do is just have Cleveland release him, and he would be cheaper if they release him over trading him.
Yeah. I think that's a possibility. I think that's a distinct possibility. You know what's going to make me an interesting thing for me to see, actually? I don't know how many more years Ryan Tannehill has in Tennessee. So I wonder who they would want to replace him.
I feel like this could be his last year.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Because it's been like what? Ever since the Titans unexpectedly made that run, the last 2 years, they're like, oh my God. Yeah, basically. They're like, oh my God, this year's like, dude, they got that number 1 seed, and they're like, whoop, whoop, Super Bowl, we're on an all-time high, and they get knocked out in the first round.
And then they get lose next game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. All bark and no bite.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like if the Titans don't do anything in the playoffs this year, that's it. They're like,
what
okay.
What if Mayfield goes to Tennessee? Get rid of Tannehill, put in Mayfield.
It'll be the same thing. Same, like,
yeah, basically.
I feel like Ryan Tannehill is basically Baker Mayfield with wheels.
That's true. It's so true. Oh my gosh. It's so awful. You're gonna see Henry. If it's Baker Mayfield, but like without wheels, like he can't do anything, you're just gonna be handing it off to Derrick Henry like every single play.
Basically.
Not to mention if Julio Jones doesn't stay in Tennessee.
He got released. He's a free agent, so he's not in Tennessee.
I'm still scratching my head on that. Like, they've got somebody that can pick up the slack as far as wide receiver.
But let's talk about Tyreek Hill, and that'll be the last. This will be the last topic, unless you got anything else. I honestly covered all my topics that I could think
no problem. Of. I don't have any looking to if new.
Oh, wait a second. There is Davante Adams to the Raiders. Oh, you're cutting out again.
I just switched on. I just turned my Wi-Fi on. Give me a second. I think he's making the Charles Woodson move
from Green Bay to Vegas,
to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
He's making because Charles Woodson made the move from Green Bay to Oakland when they were still there.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I do remember
that. It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of, I think, I don't know if he and Derek Carr are going to have good chemistry.
No, but here's the thing. I feel like Charles Woodson was a Raider before he went to Green Bay.
He was, but I think he was only there for like a short time. Like, I think he was there for a year, maybe 2. And then he went to Green Bay and was there for quite a while.
Basically, for quite a while. And then he just went back to Oakland.
You remember the rumors when people thought that Marshawn Lynch was going to go to Oakland or to Las Vegas?
Yeah.
I was like,
he did for like a good year or something. I know that he went to the Raiders for like
but he didn't have any breakout seasons as a part of that team. Mm-mm. Like, he was just kind of there.
He was just there. Dude, after I feel like after the Super Bowl, 2016, the final, after 2016, he basically just dropped out of the face of the earth.
It will forever be that his best highlight was that big old run that he had against the Saints in the divisional round of the playoffs. When nobody thought Seattle could win, Marshawn Lynch busts off this big run to put the Saints down.
Dude, I really want to, like, they call that the Beast Quake, but, like, from, like, a person that
Wasn't
watched
even that
it
physical.
on TV, like, it didn't get too loud, I don't think. I guess
No, it did.
I guess it's only I guess it's only like a thing that you could witness in person or go to in person type thing.
Yeah, like the ambiance is different.
Because when I look back at that game, I'm like, nah, it doesn't sound too loud.
Maybe they edited it down so that you could actually hear the commentators versus the people around them. Because I know that for the longest time they hung their hats on the fact that their fans were so loud. There was this segment that I watched a couple years later, and it was talking about Seattle Stadium, and it said the 12th man, the seats that go behind the south side end zone are as loud as a Category 1 earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I guess it's something that we, had to witness in person because, again, I look back at that game and I was like, this doesn't sound too loud. But
There's some big plays over the years that are just fun to look back on.
Yeah. Anyway, let's close this out with Tyreek Hill. Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like that's a bad move on his part. Like, he could have gone to anywhere else, but he goes to freaking Miami.
He should have stayed with Kansas City. I'm just going to point that out there because not only was he getting productivity.
Kansas City didn't have the money to pay him. He what I don't like about sports now is that everything is about the money now. Like,
no, it's true.
Nothing is about playing the sport. Like, even in the soccer world, like, yeah, you get those players that say, "Oh, it's my dream to play in X, Y, and Z," but like now it's my dream to play here, but how much are they going to pay me?
Yeah, and I think so. This is the thing that was always the difference. A lot of people for the longest time liked college football better than the NFL because they're like, since the players aren't making money, then they're going to try harder. And I'm thinking to myself, now, because the college football video games are being made again, and these players are being paid for their likenesses, you're going to see the same thing that happened in the NFL happen in college. You're going to see kids transferring because the school is more popular.
Yeah.
And it's going to create a discrepancy where I'll tell you this. I think it has already created a discrepancy because Alabama has been probably the most popular school around in terms of college sports. And it is that exact reason why you see Alabama in the national championship over and over again.
Yeah.
I feel like you start like Tyreek Hill added he's going to add so much to whatever team he goes to. But with Kansas City, not only was he getting productivity as a wide receiver, but he was also getting touches as a kick returner.
Oh yeah, I do remember that because that's basically how he made a name for himself. Like, he was like the first wide receiver to have a punt return, a kickoff return, a receiving touchdown, a passing touchdown. Like, he had like crazy stats, and that's how he made a name for himself. Because he did all that.
That the Chiefs put. There was a game where the Chiefs had to put up a 50 burger against one of their teams. And it was because Tyreek Hill had 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns in one game.
Yes, I do remember that.
The Chiefs aren't so the Chiefs are the ones who are losing in this because they're not going to be nearly as productive. The only person they have now
is Travis Kelce,
who can relatively work for them is Travis Kelce, and now he's going to get double covered. basically it's going to be you stop Travis Kelce, you stop Patrick Mahomes.
Unless they find like a Tyreek Hill type of guy in the draft, which
put Jamison Crowder in.
I think that like the Chiefs, this is actually pretty good looking wide receiving class.
It is, and I think this is where they have to go. Unless, like I said, I was curious if the Chiefs were going to go after Jamison Crowder.
True, but no, they didn't. The Bills ended up getting.
They didn't, but I think it would have been a good move on their part.
Yes,
and I think,
OBJ is still out there.
He is, but he's getting older.
And who knows if he's going to be ready to go week 1 either.
He probably won't be because the guy's got a torn quad, or torn ACL.
Anyway, but I think this will wrap up the show, y'all. Wow, first time in a while that we have actually had an hour and 10, or an hour and 15, or an hour and a half. When was the last time we did this? I remember our first 2 episodes were like this, but after that we had basically had
4 hours.
Yeah, but Aaron. Yeah, but we are back in sync for the time being. Tuesday 6:30, unless otherwise noted or otherwise specified.
Yeah.
Do you have anything coming up? Or
I'm going to be doing a review. I'm going to be doing a review this Sunday at 10 on Faxman's Musings for a really cool place here in Florida called the Gulf Specimen Marina.
Oh, okay. Look forward to that, guys. Again, check out Faxman's Musings.
If you like marine biology.
Yeah. Check out Faxman's Musings, guys. It's the links are down below. Also follow Aaron down on Twitter. I got to put his Twitter link in there as well. Basically this channel, I've been focusing more on the soccer stuff, more on Washington Commander stuff, because that's soccer is going heavy right now for me. But basically, we'll do mock drafts. I'll probably do a mock draft video here soon discussing. I just got to do more research because I have no idea, aside from the quarterbacks in this draft. I know about just basically one DB that is a top prospect, but aside from that, I gotta still do some more research on wide receivers and things like that, because Ron Rivera is finally speaking out, saying, "Yo, we need to build around Carson Wentz." And from what I'm hearing, is that Washington has already interviewed basically the top wide receivers in this draft and a top tight end in this draft. Those are the guys that are Ron Rivera's interest. So
watch Jarvis Landry end up in Washington.
Don't have the money for him.
They may not, but if Jarvis Landry doesn't get any offers from any other teams, he may be like, well, I got to go somewhere.
To be honest, I'd actually be okay with that, though. If he can come at a cheaper price.
It's going to take a while.
Because he's actually healthy. The reason why he didn't get the stats that he rightfully deserves in Cleveland is because he was with Baker Mayfield for so long.
Yeah, honestly, that's like an anchor for him.
So yeah, so basically, I'll be doing Washington content here and there, but most things going to be covered is European soccer, because that's
that's the forte,
basically for now. But alrighty, y'all, we are out of here. Make sure you guys subscribe. Check out Faxman's Musings. Until then, guys, well, we're out of here.